Welcome back, football fans. The Washington Commanders just shook things up during training camp with some key roster moves that could have a ripple effect on their offensive game plan this season. If you're following the NFL closely or just love deep dives into team news, you won't want to miss this. Today, we're breaking down the Commanders' latest signings, injury updates, and what it all means as they prepare to take the field in 2025. So, before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe for more NFL news and analysis, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's jump right in. The Washington Commanders are in the thick of training camp, pushing hard to prepare for the new NFL season. But as with every team at this time of year, injuries and roster shuffles are par for the course. This weekend, the Commanders made a couple of notable moves that are worth talking about. On Saturday morning, Washington announced the signing of wide receiver Braylon Sanders and simultaneously placed tight end Tyree Jackson on injured reserve. These two moves might seem routine, but they actually carry some interesting implications for the Commanders' offense, especially given the state of their wide receiver core heading into the season. So, who exactly is Braylon Sanders, and why are the Commanders bringing him on board? Sanders is a young, versatile wideout who's been working his way through the NFL and professional football ranks for a few years now. In the 2022 NFL season, Sanders appeared in 3 games for the Miami Dolphins. During that limited action, he caught 2 passes for 17 yards. Not eye-popping numbers on paper. But it's important to remember that early NFL careers can be slow burners, especially for receivers trying to crack a deep depth chart. After his stint with the Dolphins, Sanders spent time on the New England Patriots practice squad last year. The Patriots, known for their keen eye on developing players, likely saw some potential in Sanders, which says a lot about his work ethic and skill set. But what's really interesting is that in 2025, Sanders played for the DC Defenders in the United Football League, UFL. The UFL has been a proving ground for players looking to showcase their talent and catch the attention of NFL teams. For Sanders, that opportunity allowed him to get valuable game reps and prove that he can perform under pressure. Why bring Sanders into the mix now? The answer lies in the Commanders' current wide receiver situation. Training camp reports have revealed that 2 of Washington's key wideouts, Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown, have not been practicing. McLaurin, in particular, is a critical piece of the Commanders' passing game. His absence, whether due to minor injuries or precautionary reasons, has left the team thin at receiver. Adding Braylon Sanders gives the Commanders a fresh option at wideout, someone who can potentially step up and provide depth while McLaurin and Brown work their way back to full health. This move also shows the team's intent to maintain competition and keep players hungry during camp. You never want to get complacent, and bringing in Sanders adds a spark and new energy to the receiving group. Now, let's talk about the corresponding move, tight end Tyree Jackson being placed on injured reserve. Jackson, who signed to Washington's practice squad last December, has had a somewhat modest NFL career so far. Over 16 career games with the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants, Jackson recorded 3 catches for 22 yards and 1 touchdown. Jackson's presence on the practice squad last season showed that the Commanders were interested in developing his potential as a tight end option. Unfortunately, his placement on injured reserve means he'll be sidelined for a significant portion of the upcoming season. The injury to Jackson creates a hole in Washington's tight end depth chart. Tight ends play a crucial role in today's NFL offense, not just as blockers, but as reliable pass catchers and versatile weapons in both the run and pass games. So how do these moves affect the Commanders' overall offensive strategy? First, losing a tight end like Jackson to IR means Washington will need to rely more heavily on their other tight ends or look to the free agent or practice squad pool to fill that gap. It could also mean more reliance on wide receivers and running backs in passing situations. Second, with Sanders joining the wide receiver group, the Commanders might lean into a more spread-out offensive attack, especially if McLaurin and Brown are not yet 100% during early training camp or preseason games. This roster shuffle could also open the door for younger receivers or less established players to step up and prove their worth, increasing competition for snaps and targets. As we move closer to the start of the 2025 NFL season, these moves raise some important questions. How quickly can Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown return to full strength? Their health will heavily dictate how the Commanders shape their passing game early in the season. Will Braylon Sanders capitalize on this opportunity to carve out a role in Washington's offense? If he impresses in training camp and preseason, he could become a vital contributor. How will the Commanders manage the tight end position with Tyree Jackson sidelined? Will they bring in additional players or adjust their offensive schemes to compensate? These are all storylines to watch closely as the season approaches. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the Commanders' move to sign Braylon Sanders? Could he surprise us and become a breakout player in Washington? And how much of an impact will Tyree Jackson's injury have on their tight end depth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay ahead of all the latest NFL roster news, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive content. Share this video with your fellow NFL fans so they don't miss out, and ring that notification bell to get instant alerts every time we post. The NFL offseason and training camp period are always full of twists and turns, and the Commanders are no exception. These roster moves highlight the challenges teams face managing injuries and keeping their rosters competitive. For Washington, the key will be how quickly they can get their star players healthy and whether the new additions like Braylon Sanders can step up and make an impact. One thing is for sure, the journey to the 2025 NFL season promises to be an exciting one for the Commanders and their fans.